the joy of a new product not exactly working as planned, especially the last time I used it. I scheduled the live on my computer and then it wasn't here for me to be able to use when I switched over to my phone. So sorry for the confusion. Let's go ahead and we will unlist that guy. We'll actually private it. And then we'll be over here on this one. And then I will pull this up over here so I can actually see your chat a little bit easier. I can see it okay on the phone. I may just stick with the phone, but I've got my computer right here in case it's difficult to see. Wanted to be prepared. Especially after the last live stream where I tried to like do everything like using my fancy setup. And it was actually like a less attended live stream than my ones where I just talk to you right here. So I thought, well, let's just chit chat. So anyway, we may adjust. I want to adjust this just a little bit too here. I'm going to bring this down and get myself a slightly better angle. But anyway, hi, I'm Elizabeth. Welcome to Grace and Lottie's. I am working right now on a baby blanket. And so I thought, hey, might as well chit chat while I'm working on the baby blanket here. It is done with like super, super chunky yarn. And you know, when else to work with really, really, really chunky yarn that's hot, then, you know, when it's hot outside in the late July and August, you know, that's when normal people do these things. But that is what has happened here. So getting this all set up. I tried to have this all set up for you guys ahead of time. Here we go. Now I can see you guys over here and we can actually, I can work. There we go. Got it. Now I can actually do the mod things and all of that. But I hope everybody here is having a great day. Big needles. Got some coffee. Again, it's really hot. I've got hot coffee, a blanket that's really hot. You know, the normal things that people do. Makes you kind of question your life choices. In the living room today, I think I've maybe done a grand total of maybe 2 things that has been on the channel from my living room. So welcome to the living room. It's a little bit different than my studio. It's not pink. You can see I've got my piano back there. Gaming table, well, like for like board games. It's like for family board game night and stuff. And just a nice little space. It has so many windows. Like I didn't have to bring any studio lights. I do have the overhead just to kind of help because it's cloudy today, but normally the light in here is actually really, really good. Sadly, it is not air conditioned with the rest of the house. We just kind of have to live with what seeps in from the rest of the house. Through the door because it is an addition and they didn't think, hey, why don't we make it to where there's a vent going in there when they built this place, which would have made sense. But anyway, here's the blanket. I am actually knitting it a second time because I didn't like the gauge of the first one. If you look, this is the first one right here. And I did it on 50s and it was just a little too loose. So I'm redoing it this time on 35s. I always forget if it's 35 or 36s. That size needle, so a little bit smaller. And this time I actually got circulars and I'm very happy with the gauge in comparison. So, but that is today's work, is just sitting here. So I thought it might be fun to chit chat and hang out while I knit. Because I'm not on the fancy setup, we don't have background music. So I do like the background music, but no background music today. So hello, welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. Love to know where you're watching from. I'm in Tennessee, which is in kind of the middle-ish of the United States. It's east, south, middle. It's the long, skinny state. For those of you who aren't part of the, who don't know the U.S. and all the individual states. Some people kind of joke, oh, thank you. That is very, very sweet. We kind of wear Kentucky as a hat. I'm originally from Kentucky, so that is my home state. I've lived in a couple of states here, so. And for those of you not familiar with the U.S., most people know Kentucky Fried Chicken, so. Which is pretty funny to me. It's like, wow, this is what we get to be known for, is Colonel Sanders. Was also the birthplace of Lincoln. And here's a true story. So we lived outside of Louisville, and I was at a funeral once. And this is kind of a weird way to start a story, right? And at that funeral, there was both a Colonel Sanders, you know, the founder of KFC, bow tie, white suit, came in costume, like as Colonel Sanders, to the funeral. So that he was there. And then there was also a guy who works as an Abraham Lincoln impersonator, like for historical events, that kind of thing. And so both of them were at this funeral, which was so weird, so random, like not what you expect. Definitely when it was like in the middle of like this little town too. It wasn't like there was a lot of people there. There was maybe 100 people there. This little country church in the middle of nowhere. There's Colonel Sanders and Abraham Lincoln. So that was one of my funnier moments with that. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. We are like day 10 of cloudy here, which gets a little bit dreary, not gonna lie. Fur fuzz from the netting in my mouth. It's just been like dreary with like rain every day now for several days. And we were in a drought, so we needed the rain. But it is just very, very, very gray. Like, I don't think we've seen the sun in days here. Not yet. Knit. Every time I knit, I have like the clip from Pee-wee's Big Adventure going in my head where he's sitting with Simone and the dinosaur. And, you know, he's like, sometimes I just feel like I'm in the middle of like the scarf that somebody just keeps knitting and knitting and knitting. And I love that line, but all I say is knitting and knitting and knitting. And I can't do a Pee-wee voice to save my life, so don't expect one from me. Okay, pull it out because I'm just working right off the old blanket. Not the most, I will say this is not the recommended way to knit, but it will work. I'm planning on seeing this through a wash before I give it to my nephew who's on the way. I've also got like a matching pathway right here in a thinner yarn that I will use to make him a sweet little sweater to go with it. I'm excited to get to use this. And it's funny how thin this yarn feels, even though it works on a size 6 needle. So I work on stuff that's a lot thinner than this regularly. But because I've been on this like really, really thick yarn, this looks like it's just minuscule in comparison. I got this nice blue that does match as well to be a nice border yarn for the sweater. And it's a sweater I've knit before. It's just a simple garter stitch sweater. Yeah. There. There we go. Get one setting that was a little bit weird over there fixed. But yeah, I have an hour right now that I can use before I have to go pick up my daughter from work. Going back to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I'm going to get to go to San Antonio very soon. My oldest is finishing up basic training with the Air Force. And I'm going to get to go there for his graduation and be in San Antonio. And so I will be going to the Alamo. I will take the tour. And I will find out if there's a basement. Because, you know, you have to for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. R.A.P. Paul Rubens. Yeah, what is everybody else up to on this Friday? It is the end of the week. big end of the week here. We've got some big projects that are wrapping up, and it's been fun to get to like send all the finished things to my clients. That's why I've got some time to knit right now. Get ahead on this project. Oh, my dog. Hi. Oh, your blanket's not there, is it? She doesn't know. She stands on these boxes over at the thing, but we normally have her blanket on them, and she won't stand on them without the blanket. So she can't look out the window. Poor dog. Poor dog. Poor puppy. Knit, knit, knit. This is even like somewhat quiet yarn. Like there's no like click, click, click with this one. It is difficult to work with though. I will say it's a little more of a workout than working on normal yarn. For those of you who don't know if you wear an Apple Watch while you're knitting, mine thinks I'm taking steps. And so the days I have my watch on and like I'm working hard on like a knitting project, it will like register that I like do 40,000 steps that day. It's like, you think I did way more work than I did today. That is for sure. Hi, Lottie. Come over. Say hi to everybody. Lottie's coming over to her blanket or to the pillows here. She's not gonna look at the camera though. Yeah, you want me to love on you? See that little paw? You see this little paw? This is my dog. He's my good pup. She likes to sit on a pillow tower. So I've got her on her pillow tower here. Look at her leaning in, wanting more loving. Yes, you're a good dog. You're a good dog. Are you gonna sit on the blanket and make it hard for me to work? Is that your superpower? Yes, look at Paul. Love on me more. Love on me more. She's definitely doing her best to make it hard to get any work done on this blanket. That is for sure. Love you, Lottie Lou. Love you, Pup Pup. Coffee today is a Tanzanian from Mealtown Coffee, which is here in Colombia, the Temple of the Universe. So enjoying getting to drink that today and some fancy coffee. Love my dog. See this little fluff. This little bit of fluff right here. A little bit of fluff. Oh, I haven't looked up when are the Olympics starting. I know that opening ceremonies are today. Hi. Let's read it. Your shirt's the same color as the couch. Pretty much. It's pretty close. I'm a little darker. Not much. This is your standard, that IKEA like L-shaped couch that you can pull out part here and it becomes a sleeper sofa. Thank you. I love my little pup. That is Lottie. The channel is not named after her, with Grace and Lottie's. Lottie is the name of my great grandmother, and they both, the channel and her, have that name. Yeah. The channel actually predates Lottie, the dog. Yeah, she's my pup. She's a good dog. So what are you up to today, Steven? Okay, let's see. Will she let me work? She is like sitting on this blanket. There you go, precious. For those of you who are wondering, the dog she's a toy poodle. She is 100% poodle. She's not like a mix of anything. She's just a poodle. Did you make the blanket or did you buy it? I am making this. And I bought the yarn, I knitted it, and I didn't like the gauge, the size of the stitches, so I'm reknitting it. So I'm technically knitting this blanket twice. So I can make it what I want. So yeah, I am in the process. It is currently that long. But yeah, it's Hobby Lobby yarn. I've got it in this pathway as well to match to make a little cute sweater to go for my nephew. This is all for my little nephew who is coming soon. For those of you who know knitting patterns, this is just, I did a little gauge and I'm just doing the basic knitting. I mean, it's a knit one row, purl one row with the garter stitch edge, which is 4 stitches, and I did 4 rows of garter at the bottom, and I'm slipping the first stitch so it makes the nice pretty edge rather than the bumpy edge. So, which it was nice, this yarn came out to 1 stitch per inch, so figuring out a gauge was easy for this. Like, oh, I need it to be 36 inches wide, so 36 stitches. Easy math. And I'm just gonna knit until I'm out of yarn, so that's also keeps it easy. With that, so there's no written pattern, there's no need for a written pattern, it's a pretty straightforward. They recommended 19, like size 19s for this yarn, and oh my god, I think that would kill my fingers trying to get it in because it would be so snug on the needle, like just because the size and the stitches and pulling it. It probably would make a nice dense fabric when knitted that way, but it's like, it just was beyond what I wanted to do. So anyway, my Friday, those of you who don't know, Shrubs gets off early on Friday, so I get extra time with him. And so we are going tonight to go see the new Deadpool movie. I'm looking forward to it. I have honestly not seen a Deadpool movie yet. This will be the first one I go to. What I want to jump into, but I like Ryan Reynolds. I like Hugh Jackman. The fact that they're both in it, and I have seen every Wolverine movie. So going into it, so I'm very curious how this will all come together. I love like seeing them, especially seeing Hugh Jackman 15 years ago in the X-Men movies, and now it's like he's aged. Everybody gets older. I will not look the same as I do today in 15 years. I do not look like what I looked like 15 years ago, and I like getting to see that age. I think it makes me feel a little more comfortable about myself aging. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you like seeing an older Wolverine if you're into those movies? I'm very curious. I know so little about the plot of the movie going in. So other than they're both in it, and I kind of like going in blind like that, not knowing too much. I will come home and like watch every Easter egg video that I can find as soon when we get here, with all the spoilers and stuff, because that's the way I go into these like fandom movies. And I don't have a good I guess I could have like watched a bunch of stuff with Alkalite, but I didn't want to dive in as deep on that one. I enjoyed the series. I absolutely adore, and I don't know his name in real life, but the actor who was playing the stranger, my husband and I just call him Darth Bortles because he was on The Good Place. Jason, he played Jason Mendoza on The Good Place, right? I know that, but we adored him in it, and we love just the difference in the characters and how different they are. So FYI, talking about nerdy things here because that's my life. But I didn't geek out on that one. Like, I wasn't going to YouTube and like, ooh, let's watch every spoiler imaginable, every video, like breaking down every moment in the movie or in the series. I did that with Loki. Like Loki, oh my goodness, I was like so into Loki. Um, and I loved the way it was released, you know, being episodic like that, and you had to wait a week, and I would like come in and just start binging everything I could find on Loki. I really, really enjoyed that series. Um, and then I enjoyed Fallout, but wasn't like because Fallout was released all at once, it didn't have the same like, oh, I've got all this time to like really dive in. And I did while I was working play videos where I learned like all of the different vaults in Fallout. I was like, oh. If I dive in fully. That is part of my kind of ADD is I'm a hyper focus. So yeah, do you guys do that? I would love to know if like if you start watching a show, do you like want to find out everything you can about the show? Do you really go all in? I think part of me wishes they would have done the release one episode at a time rather than the whole thing with like Stranger Things as well, because oh my goodness, that would have been so much fun to be able to have like with Lost, you know, where you have the time to like try to make guesses as to what you think's going on and what's going to happen, rather than with the whole season dropping at once. Because like we've had it. I remember one July 4th, we literally watched the whole season in one day. We sat down and my whole family just sat there and we watched the whole thing. Um, and there was no time to like kind of come up with your own little theories and see if they work, like what happened with Lost back in the day. And I think that makes series a little bit more fun when you get to kind of like come up with your own ideas, like how you think it might go. And I'm kind of sad that that's lost with that. Oh, no pun intended with Lost, the show. But of course, I have to laugh. We didn't watch Lost when it was on. Normally, my husband came in late to it. He really enjoyed it. Shrubs loved Lost. But he like caught himself up to watch the last season in real time with it going on. So he did a marathon sprint of binging content on that one because there was a lot to watch and go back. But my sister, she watched it in real time. Like they used to have like Wednesday nights, they would actually get together and watch Lost. Have little parties on Wednesday nights. So Lottie has really settled in on her blanket down there. Yeah, I would love to know shows that you guys like and are binging and are like, this is my show right now. I kind of feel like I'm in between shows. Especially Acolyte. We were watching Acolyte. It's over now. Gonna go see Deadpool tonight. I mean, I guess I could go back and watch the other movies, the other Deadpools when I get back. They're not. We have Disney Plus. I don't know, where are they? Does Disney have Deadpool on there? I can't imagine Disney Plus would have Deadpool on. Here, hold on. I can look that up. I've got my TV right here. Let's see. Does Disney? Oh, there's MCC this weekend. That's cool. Okay, let's look. We'll go to Disney Plus here. You guys can't see it. I'm not going to flip it. I don't want to like have any copyright issues. Let's look. Hopefully nothing will autoplay. That would be the worst right now. Like I lose like all my copyright because something autoplays while I'm trying to figure out if Deadpool is on Disney Plus. It's taking forever to load. It always does on our we watch it on a Fire Stick, and it always Disney Plus takes forever to load on the Fire Stick. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man 2. My husband's been watching. Shaz has been watching Spider-Man a lot lately. Okay, go back. Did I go back too many? No. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back to the home area. Disney Plus. Okay, X-Men. I can watch all of them. Did I watch X-Men Apocalypse? I don't even remember. I know I didn't watch Dark Phoenix. I've got those I could watch. I felt bad for Dark Phoenix because of it hit with the acquisition, and it made like plots really really weird, so that it couldn't really be pushed because it was gonna mess with Miss Captain Marvel. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, they're here. The original Deadpool. Okay, I didn't know because I know like Disney tries to be. Yeah, they're there. Okay, I know that Disney tries to be like really really clean, and they have like other brands, but nope, it's here. Cool. Okay, I can watch them. The answer is that I could even watch all the X-Men to like really catch up too. Um, I have not watched any of X-Men '97. I know my husband watched that, but I didn't watch it the first time around. Um, so pull out some more. It's nice because this doesn't hurt my heart to have to rip out, because I literally did the other blanket because it was on such big nails. It was on 50s. I did it in an evening. I mean, it was one. It's not like I'm taking out months of work. Like I can't imagine. Although I've done it. I did it with one of my son's projects. Like I had made him socks and he grew too big because I made them when they were little. But it was fun because I got to take the yarn and I remade it into something else for him that he could keep and still use. Because he had picked the yarn, it was his, it was special to him. So I reworked it. That was a little different. It's one thing when like you've put a ton of hours and like something just doesn't work, and so you have to rip it out and redo it. It's like, oh, that's the worst. This one's just a little bit of a workout to do. Like, some come undone easy, but because this is so thick yarn, it's like, it's a bit of. It's a little bit more of work today. Yeah, my number. 4 stitches on the edge. And it's time to flip. Flip. Now we're on a knit row. Knit row is the faster. Knit is faster than purl for me. For those of you who don't know, I do a continental stitch. I do not do an English stitch. That's why my yarn is over on this. So I don't. The idea of the continental stitch, which if you guys don't know the difference, English holds their yarn on this side, and so they have to loop each time. Which I only do that if I'm doing color work and doing 2 different yarns at once. I will do that so that I can just hold one in each hand. But it seems like a lot more work to me personally. So I learned this one. So now I know I can watch Deadpool. I'm not watching it right now, obviously. That would be so. Oh my goodness, how to get your stream dropped. Interesting that there are no viewers on the side. I think it would be awesome if you had more viewers watching. I do too. I think it would be a lot of fun. My live streams lately have just tanked, and I don't know why. Trying to get people in. Like sometimes they do great, and like I worked really, really hard, even on one of them, to try to get it. Like I had my fancy setups in the studio, and I worked and switched it all over for the vertical format. And I had so few people. It's like, it's not worth me doing this. Like we'll just go back to the phone and do it that way. And then today, I got it all ready, only to find out that now these aren't talking to each other for me to be able to do the vertical. So that's a little stinky. But yeah, getting it all figured out. Hopefully. Although it looks like it's trying to stream. Is it actually going to the vertical feed? Am I in shorts? Did you find me in the shorts feed, Steven? I'm looking at some stuff and it's acting like it's hold on here. What is? I selected. Oh, highlight. No. Okay. But yeah. Okay, that was just a highlight button. Okay, good. We are in vertical. I just wanted to double check. I'm like, watch it. Yeah. I'm happy you're streaming. Thank you. That's very kind, and it's nice to hear. It's been I've been working on a lot of stuff other than my channel the past couple weeks because I have to pay bills. And it has eaten so much time, and it's like I've missed getting to just create and getting to chat with people, which I love. So, and those projects are slowly winding up, and my time will be my own again. Try and get back on my normal schedule, which will also help. But yeah. Liking and sharing. That's one way to help get people get in here. If you know somebody who would enjoy just getting to hang out. That would be greatly appreciated. Almost done with this row, which means we'll get to flip again. Is everybody ready for the flip? Flip. As the blanket gets bigger, the flip is a little more excited. Do you have a job outside of YouTube? Kind of. So being a content creator means that you have to wear a lot of hats at once. And my strength, one of the things that I can do for other channels and have done for other channels in the past, and channels that are much larger than mine, which makes it really funny, is I am good in content strategy. Like I can look at analytics and numbers and things like that. And I'm not as good about doing that with my own channel, which makes it really funny because I want to create content and I want to do, and it's like you can't, there aren't enough hours to do everything by yourself and do it well. But so I have clients that I do their content strategy. So I dive into their analytics and really hard and say this content's doing well, this isn't, and it's funny because their channels are all bigger than mine. So yes, I have a job outside of my YouTube channel, but it is still inside of the YouTube creator sphere. But yeah. I also have a background in, I ran a podcasting studio for several years, or for 14 months, not several years, 14 months, in San Diego. COVID shut it down. And so I do, like when people are wanting to start a podcast, I will meet with them and go through what they will have to do, what it will actually mean, and walk them through the process of actually setting it up well for success. And spoilers, there is one coming for this channel very soon. It's in development right now because I want to launch it well. And there's a couple of moving pieces that are needing to come together, but I've got the hook and all of that done for it. And that's like the hardest part, is coming up with the idea of what will make you different. It's a pearl row. The pearl rows take longer. But it's only pearls for the last 4 stitches. It's nice when you don't, I love working when I don't need a pattern, because working when I don't need a pattern is easy. Okay, we are to the last 4 stitches. That means they get to be knit. 1, 2. I'm dry sparrow. Oh, how awesome! I hope your sparrow turns out nicely and beautifully. Are you drawing it graphite, color pencil? What medium are you working in to draw that beautiful sparrow? Pull out. And the ads are getting ready to come just for everybody. knit, 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 knit. So everybody who's a premium member and or a member of the channel, you are here right now. Everybody else just got an ad. I don't know if anybody's going to get back from the ad, but it's really cool that you're drawing a sparrow. One of the people I'm working with on one of their projects, I'm project managing for this project, not content strategy, but project management, is putting together a really awesome Kickstarter right now. And she's an illustrator and she's incredible. And I am in awe of her talent. Like, just to be able to just sit down and draw and it like turns out and it looks great. And especially to be able to draw like the same character and it be consistent. Like, I am blown away by that. So that is impressive to me. Lottie is sitting at my feet now. She is guarding me and keeping me safe. And I'm very thankful for you, little dog, keeping me safe right now. So I'm watching the time because I've got to be sure I leave right on time to go get my daughter. Okay, almost done with the knit row. Then it'll be time to flip. And flip. Did you say daughter? Yes, I have a daughter. I have old kids. All of my children have graduated from high school. So I am in that world now. The blankets for my nephew, who will be born soon. My oldest is at basic training for Air Force right now. I'll be going to see him very soon when he finishes. So I'm looking forward to that. How many? 3 children. A girl and 2 boys. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're to the purl stitches. So yeah, my oldest, he went into the Air Force later than most. He's 22. And so letters are great. He's doing wonderfully. So I'm anxious to get to see him again. It has been very strange having to communicate via letter. Very different to do that. There's just not, you can't just shoot a text. We got the 30-second phone call when he got there to say he arrived safely. And it was really funny hearing him like, I can only do this now. I'm here safely, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, then gone. Like, there was no like, hi, how's it going? Like, it was, okay, love you. You know, that was all we could do really, really fast. My middle son is looking for an IT job right now. He has his Google certifications in IT and cybersecurity, both of them. If you know anybody in the Nashville area who is hiring, that's my little family. 5 of us and Lottie. We've got Lottie. She's here. She is 6 years old, a little toy poodle. And we also have Egbert, who is a Pac-Man frog, who's been with us for about 1.5 years. And then we also have Rango, who lives downstairs. He's a bearded dragon. He's lived with us for about the same amount of time. He's lived here longer than Egbert. So, and I have quite a few houseplants as well. I'm not very good at keeping houseplants alive though. We've had chickens. Chickens were a lot of fun. Having them, I enjoyed our chickens. Back when we had them. We had them when we lived in Louisville. And they were a hoot. Yes, I didn't buy eggs for several years. Bought chicken feed, which is, I think, more expensive than eggs back then. But, they would just roam the yard, and they were, it was funny because they would be out. They were allowed to just roam in our backyard. It was fenced in. We lived in the city. We did not live out anywhere, and we had these laying hens, and they would roam the yard, and they would just kind of roam and not realize that they were slowly all like getting into different areas, and then all of a sudden one of them would realize, oh, I'm not with everybody else, and they would just like run across the yard to be with everybody. Time to flip, knit row. That were a lot of fun. I have a video on this channel, I think it's still up, about the chicken we had for the longest. Her name was Nugget. She would stand at the back doors and just wonder why she couldn't come in with us and live in the house. And we were not going to let Nugget live in the house. And the funny thing with them was they could totally, if they had wanted to, escape the backyard, but they didn't want to, so they didn't. Like, we never had to go corral one out of the yard, because it wasn't like a high chain link fence. It was like the 3-foot chain link fence. So she would just be there. Our next door neighbor got some big dogs. I remember that. And when it was just the chain link fence, they were fine and they were friendly and they loved the kids. Then he put up this privacy fence, and the dogs got so aggressive after the privacy fence went up. And it made me sad, because it was like they had been very, very sweet, but then they're now trying to bite under the fence and dig under, because they couldn't see. Before, they could see what was going on, and they were friendly and they loved everybody, but now they could hear noises, but they couldn't see, and they didn't know what was going on, and they became very aggressive. Just the time, make sure I'm not late going to pick my daughter up. Making good progress on this blanket, at least. So this would be nice to have done. Made the mistake of not warming up my coffee before I got started with the stream. I was busy, upset that it wasn't talking. So normally, before, I've been able to set it up here and then just click over here and say, yes, I want to use that stream. Today was not doing that. So I have to figure out what the setting was that was wrong and fix that. That's a bummer, because I like being able to, I love being able to set up the stream. And I think I may know what the problem was, because it may be that I needed to choose mobile when I was setting it up, and I didn't choose mobile. Which I haven't had to do before, but maybe that's a thing now. We're on a purl row. This is how long it's gotten. It's getting there. It's it's definitely gotten longer. It's getting warmer too. I think this will be a great blanket because it's so fluffy and so thick that like it will make a great, like if you lay it down and then if you wanted to put another blanket on top of it, it'll make like a nice little soft mat because it's that thick. Yeah, what's everybody doing today? Are you at work? Are you home? Are you waiting for the weekend, counting down the hours, staring at the clock going, I only have to be here for so many more hours. I work at home, so it's a little bit weird to not, like there's not so many hours till I get to leave. I'm here no matter what. You know, it's probably better that Lottie can't get on her boxes and look out the window because she'd be barking at everything. She is a very vocal dog, which for those of you who've been in other live streams before can attest to. Yeah, you like to talk to everything. You like to protect us. Okay, flip. We're back to knit row. The knit rows are the easy rows. And I'm ripping up a blanket that I knitted the other day that I didn't like the gauge for. So now I'm doing it in a different gauge, which I like better. So it works out well. And for those of you who don't know the pattern, basically all I did was this on these needles knits at basically 1 stitch per inch. I wanted it to be 36 inches wide. So it's 36 inches, cast on 36. I knitted 4 rows, so it was garter stitch. And now I'm knitting on the first 4 stitches, although I do the edge where you pass a stitch, you slip a stitch at the beginning of each row. So that it makes the nice pretty edge versus the bumpy edge. And then it's just like stockinette stitch. So it's knit on one row, purl on the other. For the middle, that would be 36 minus 8, the middle 28 stitches. And I'm literally just going until I'm about to run out of yarn. And then I'll switch. So that is the pattern. It's a very easy, like I don't have anything written down. It just is. I'm making this project, so this is what I'm doing. It's kind of a pattern. I tend to do that a lot with projects. Like I just start fixing, like making it, and I kind of know roughly how things go. Like I have a basket I made one day because I wanted to make a basket. I did it with 3 strands held together, but I just did it with knowing the basics that how to make a circle for crochet, and then just did a post stitch to turn the edge because that gives you a nice strong edge where it then makes it go up, and then just did it continuous all the way up and single crocheted a nice little border on it, and it was done. It's now holding Lottie's toys, by the way. I may make another one because I've got more yarn that I can do it with. I actually even stopped on that one because I got bored. Like, I'm ready to be done. I'm over this project. It was fun when it started. I've reached the board part. Almost to the end of this row. It'll be time to flip. And flip. Oh, yarn's around my foot. Oh, just got an email. It's just a junk email. Okay, knit the first, slipped one, and then knit 3. That counts for the first 4 stitches. Now we will purl to the last 4. The bird just landed on the electric line right here, and the dog saw it for just a second. It's kind of fun. Watch her be like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is my house. Glad you left." Oh, she's getting up to go investigate. Making her little noises. Was there a bird? Did that bird not respect your boundaries? Bird earlier helped her because it was raining and she needed to go use the restroom but didn't want to because it was raining. So she was just standing on the front porch. But then she saw the bird, and the bird was the motivation to go out into the yard and brave the rain. And then after that, she was able to. It's like, oh, I'm out here. I might as well. So took care of business and came back inside. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Am I talking about you? Do you know I'm talking about you? Okay. About time to end. We got 5 more minutes before I have to head out to go pick up my girly girl from work. Okay, we're to the knit row, slip 1, knit 3, 1. Actually, I knit all the way across because it's a knit row. Does not matter. Okay, let's pull some more stitches out. So I unravel the old blanket, out with the old, in with the new. There we go. Work it. So I worked the first one on straight needles, and oh my gosh, stitches kept jumping off the back, and it was a little harder. Working on the circulars this time, way easier, way happier. And I got the 40-inch one so that I could, if I wanted to make a blanket that was bigger, I could, like more of an adult size than the baby size. They are definitely fast. I would probably do a slightly different pattern. I think this could be like really, really interesting in a reversible cable. It would be so thick. I think it could actually be interesting to see. And reversible cables, for you, those of you who don't know what a reversible cable looks like, when you're basically, you do a cable but you rib in those stitches, so you're knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, like a knit one, purl one row, rib, and then you will actually cable that. And then if you do a moss stitch or a seed stitch for the background instead of just a purl stitch, or reverse stockinette behind it, then it gets to the point where when you flip it from side to side, it looks the same. You have a reversible cable blanket, so it's not just on one side, which I really enjoy. I did that for my daughter's baby blanket when she was born. Gosh, 17 years ago, almost 18. So it's been a moment since I designed that blanket. I would have been working on it like right now if I hadn't finished it yet. That summer. And it turned out great. Like, I'm very happy with the reversible rib or reversible cables. This means it looks exactly the same on both sides. Okay, and that's a great spot to start because I'm right at the end of a row. So you guys can kind of see how much it got longer during that hour. Not a whole lot left to take out and redo. We'll set it over there. That's been the stream today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed getting to hang out with you. I've got shorts coming out, but no video this week because I've been busy with those projects. So it's just live streams is right now how I'm getting content out, just because I haven't had time to film something and edit it, because it takes a moment to do those things. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, do the things, you know, like, subscribe, do all that. Share it with somebody if you know somebody who'd like to come along. Hi, Lottie. You like hitting the tripod? You want to say, do you want to be part of the outro? Here, Lottie, you can be part of the outro. Do you want to tell everybody bye? Say bye. And click that notification bell, because right now my live streams, especially these chatting ones, I'm just, whenever I get a moment, trying to go live and getting to say hi. So I would love to have you here with us to join in the conversation and just hang out. So that's it for today. See you next time. Bye. Can I reach the phone?